En el estado de la Florida, la Cámara de Representantes ha aprobado un proyecto de ley para rebautizar el aeropuerto internacional de Palm Beach en honor al presidente Trump. Así aconteció en la Cámara en Tallahassee, Florida. Evidencia.
The clerk will lock the machine and announce the vote.
81 yeas, 30 nays, Mr. Speaker.
Show the bill passes.
Hay una postura abierta por parte de la Iglesia Católica en los Estados Unidos. El obispo católico Robert Barron no se contuvo y dio una gran declaración contundente que está circulando en las redes sociales y que está desmantelando la ideología radical que empuja al Partido Demócrata más aún hacia los brazos del marxismo. Él está partiendo de los argumentos presentados por Ocasio-Cortez en la conferencia de Múnich, Alemania, en Europa. Esto fue lo que dijo el obispo católico. Evidencia.
Hey everybody, it's Bishop Barron. You know, just last week, Marco Rubio gave a talk that I thought was really good in Munich. He was talking about the shared culture of Europe and America. He referenced Gothic cathedrals and Dante and Shakespeare and even the Beatles. His point was, we got to get beyond just our political differences and find our sources in the great culture that unites us. And then he took a further step that was very much in line with Pope Benedict XVI and Christopher Dawson, namely that culture is grounded in cult. At the root of all culture is something like religion. And so he wasn't afraid to reference the Christian faith as a key element in giving rise to the shared culture of Europe and America. So a really good speech, I thought. Well, then just, I think it was yesterday, I saw Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez answering him. And I was very struck by her answer. I thought it was very illuminating. She said, oh, you know, this appeal to culture, it's so thin because culture is ephemeral, it's always changing. And so we shouldn't pay attention to culture, we just pay attention to the material foundations in the class struggle. Well, all of that, everybody, is right out of the Marxist playbook. First of all, that Western culture, as Rubio invoked it, is thin, the culture that gave us all those great figures, that gave us the rule of law, that gave us respect for the rights of the individual, that gave us our democratic political system, that gave us the university system. That's thin. And your argument is, well, because cultures always change. Well, that's a banality. I mean, of course, cultures are alive, they change and evolve. It doesn't mean for a second we can't identify the key elements within a culture that gives it its character. But also this, to characterize culture as thin is a Marxist move. Marx said that culture is simply an epiphenomenal superstructure on top of the economic substructure. And don't be distracted, therefore, by the culture. That's just protecting the economics at bottom. Well, again, listen to her. Let's pay attention to the material conditions and to class struggle. Again, that's the Marxist playbook. What's worrying me, everybody, is the extent to which political leadership on the left in America is becoming, it's unapologetically Marxist. The mayor of New York City, you know, the warmth of collectivism. He's calling for the confiscation of private property, of seizing the means of production. All language right out of the Communist Manifesto. You know, might I encourage followers of, you know, Mayor Mamdani and AOC, talk to some of them, they're still alive, some of them, the people that fled Marxist tyranny in Europe, people laboring under it to this day in Cuba, North Korea, Venezuela, etc. And then this too. It concerns me not just as someone who follows politics, but as a bishop of the Catholic Church. Marx himself said the first critique is a critique of religion, and his political adepts followed him. The first thing that the Marxist tyrannies went after in most cases was religion. I'm getting a little concerned that in some of these leading figures in our own politics, a Marxist philosophy is taking hold. As a religious leader, this is concerning me quite a bit. Take a look, everybody. Attend to the language. In a way, they're telling us who they are and what they're for. And I think that should be very concerning to everybody. And God bless you.
Es una marxista sin complejos. El propio Carlos Marx dijo, el primer ataque siempre es a la religión. Lo ha dicho alto y claro este obispo católico de los Estados Unidos. Señoras, señores, solo la verdad nos hará libres. Amanecerá y veremos.